I'm Ashleigh Clyde, reporting for Kids First, and joining us today is Emmy-nominated actress Naomi Grossman. Naomi Grossman is known for her role in American Horror Story, playing their first ever crossover character, Pepper. Now she plays Chrissy in the new digitally released film, Bite Me, which we are discussing today. Welcome to the show, Ms. Grossman.
Thank you so much.
All right, so you are known for roles in many horror-based productions, including, but not limited to, Apartment 1BR, Sky Sharks. So what draws you to this particular genre?
It's not so much that I am drawn to it, rather it found me. And, you don't bite the hand that feeds you, to use a little vampire humor. So yeah, I'm an actor at the end of the day, and we just want to work. And so, the fact is, I think I came from a background in comedy, and, I really had my blinders on for a very long time. I was all about comedy. I just figured this business is so hard. You got to find your niche, get a gimmick and just do that. And the fact is, I was neglecting a whole world out there, just of, genres all over the place that I just didn't, I wasn't really, they weren't on my zeitgeist. But at the end of the day, while I might have been focused on comedy, I was really all about doing big characters. And so, yeah, when this audition for American Horror Story came around, I was perfectly suited. I'd done my homework. I was already doing that anyway. It was just in a different genre. So, once they cast me, it was just a matter of sort of dialing that back, because let's face it, when you slip on a banana peel, if you're Laurel and Hardy, it's hilarious. If you die, it's not, right? So the same act can be comedic or dramatic, depending on how you calibrate it. So it was just really a matter of me sort of dialing it down for drama, for horror.
Interesting. All right. And your character Chrissy is really unique and hilarious in this film. So upon seeing the script in your character description, how did you know how to portray your character to the audience and to us?
Well, that was very easy. Naomi McDougall Jones, who wrote and starred in the film, actually wrote this with me in mind. So, when she presented it to me, obviously that was, huge shoes to fill. Like, if I can't pull off Naomi Grossman, then who can? But there was no question that I could do it because, it was written for me. It was just a matter of if I could live up to her expectations of whatever, Naomi Grossman meant to her. But, I see a lot of myself in Chrissy. So in that regard, I think it's probably closer to me than any other role I've ever played.
Yeah, that's interesting. And now that you've mentioned that, I'm really interested to know about your perspective on the vampire culture, because this is based on real life vampires who use blood as a means for medicinal use. So what's your take on vampire culture?
Well, I didn't know this existed before this movie. And I buy it. I mean, I am not one of them, but I do believe that we all derive our energy from different places in different ways. I know, having just, been through this pandemic, I get my energy from other people. So like, I am feeding right now, there were 18 months where I was going very, very malnourished. And so, now that we're starting to get out there a little more, I'm in a much better place. So yes, I believe them when they say, like, they get their energy from blood. Yeah. I get my energy from you. So so yeah, I don't know, different strokes, different folks. I think at this time, especially, we're starting to realize, like, there are so many, this spectrum of that is humanity is so vast. There's heterosexuals, there's homosexuals, there's pansexuals, there's sapiosexual, there's every, every in between. Like, so why wouldn't a person get their energy from blood? Like,
Yeah.
why not? Like, anything goes at this juncture, I think.
Yeah, and I agree with that. And just your responses, I really see Chrissy in you right now. I love it. And with that, you mentioned Naomi McDougall Jones, as and there's other stars as well, such as Christian Coulson, who plays the other co-star. So what is a funny or hilarious or just fun moment on set that you can share with us?
The picnic we shot in Central Park,
Mhm.
that was my very first day on set.
Wow.
It was also happened to be the day of the solar eclipse. So it was a pretty auspicious day to be shooting a vampire movie,
Yeah.
Also, I was like one of the only transplants. Everyone else was local New York, and they'd flown me in from LA to do the role. So it was intimidating, because all of a sudden, I'm barely wearing anything, kicking over coolers, like standing on boxes, monologuing with fangs in, and all the while, like, these New York actors are, I mean, acting to the back row. I mean, there were moments where I just like looked around and I watched, the Christians and vampires feud. And like half the time the cameras weren't even on them, and they were just like giving it their all. And I love that, as a theater actor myself, I appreciate that. And I was very much in my element. It was a perfect way to sort of initiate me into this House of Twilight.
Interesting. And I love that you mentioned that that was your first day on set, because that's actually quite close to the end of the film.
Well, that's very common, and one of the things that I don't love about film and television acting is that, half the time you're on you're shooting the scene on the witness stand before you've even committed the murder. You know what I mean? So it's like, I mean, I know in American Horror Story, when Sister Mary Eunice said, "Oh, she drowned her baby, cut his ears off," or whatever it was. I didn't even know. It was 2 years went by before I even knew that whole backstory. So I just, it was up to me to kind of make this like vague sort of look like maybe I did, maybe I didn't. Because, the fact is, I didn't really know. I mean, it's very common. It's common to shoot the last scene first and the first scene last, and totally out of order. I mean, that is one of the things I love about live theater, is that you're getting to experience that character's journey from beginning to end, the full arc every night, as opposed to like turn it on, turn it off, like, okay, cut now. Now cry. Why? Because your dad just died. Oh, really? Oh, okay.
That's so okay. Thank you for sharing that, because I think a lot of audiences really believe that you guys shoot chronologically or in the sequence of the script and the plot.
No, it's funny. I mean, it has nothing to do with Bite Me, but I recently went to a Q&A with Bradley Cooper and Guillermo del Toro for Nightmare Alley, and they mentioned that the female protagonist with Bradley Cooper, actually, when she walks into the phone booth, 3/4 of the way through, and then walks out, she's had a baby. So the actress was pregnant when she walked in, but by the time they got around, because of COVID, they had to, postpone shooting. By the time she walked out, she had the baby. So it happens. It happens all the time.
Well, my last question for you is, what's the message that you think the audiences will take away from Bite Me?
Well, Bite Me is a really sweet rom-com. I mean, it's a love story, but between two very unlikely sorts. Let's face it, that it happens. It's a vampire and the IRS agent that audits her. I mean, can you find an odder couple? I don't think so. So I think for me, as a single person this Valentine's Day, I'd like to think that, love comes in all shapes and sizes, and it bites you when you least expect it. So, who knows? Maybe I'll find love this April 15th come tax day. I don't know. I have been audited twice. No one nearly as cute as Christian Coulson, unfortunately.
Well, thank you so much, Naomi. Thank you so much for this interview.
Of course. Thank you so much. And good luck.
Thank you. Well, Bite Me is available digitally now, so take a look. I'm Ashleigh Clyde, reporting for Kids First. Be sure to like and subscribe to our channel to stay up to date with interviews just like this one, as well as reviews from me and my awesome teammates. Thanks for watching. Bye.
Wait, you're not going to bite me, are you?
We don't bite. It's not sanitary.
That's right then.